Yeah. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Um, it's just it. I English. It's I'm finding it. I'm finding it. I'm finding it. I just don't understand what is going on in the story right now. There's so much different stuff going on. Even the most recent chapter, let alone the panels are beautiful, mind you. And I enjoy the chapter. It's thrilling, it's exciting, there's so much going on. It's almost overwhelming, this chapter, but it's I'm just swiping through it and it's just like this chapter has so much in it, so much going on. For people to hijack the plane that they're already on, Momo's starting to vanish from people. It's like there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Completely overwhelmed. And it gives me the same vibe of Chainsaw Man, but more chaotic because of the way that things are happening. It's just bam, 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 bam. It's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And some of the things don't necessarily mesh sometimes. The most recent chapters that showed the gymnasium and all that, like I enjoy the part about Dandadan that I really enjoy on the alien and ghost side. On the ghost side, they take superstitions and they give it like Dandadan takes superstitions, give them their own twist, and they replicate it. And that's the part that I really enjoy. The same thing for the aliens. They can take their twist on whatever alien they have. They can twist it, replicate it, and go from there. And so it's like there's so much grounds for creativity, so much grounds for um, kind of just being in the flow of things, kind of just being able to say like, this is the type of ghost that I believe in. These are the type of aliens I believe in. This is what we can have. Like it's limitless. You can say that this only accounts for 1% of the race of aliens. You can say this only accounts for 1% of the superstitions. Like there's so much grounds for this can go anywhere, and so I think sometimes it gets a little difficult when it comes to this chaotic because the goal is what? What is the goal? Right now, the goal is to get Momo back to where she used to be. But the overall goal, what is the goal now? And to be honest, I'm not saying that there isn't one. I'm just saying that I currently cannot tell what it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But, my thing is this: like, there's nothing wrong with Don to Don. There's nothing wrong with the story. I enjoy watching the story. I enjoy reading the story. Like I said, like there's so many things and attributes that I love about the story, but I'm just confused. But one thing I can tell is based on this recent chapter and what hit that plane. I can tell that what's his name, Saint Germain or whatever. I can tell that he's nearby because the way that they used again, paying homage to other horror related things like the Sharknado, like there's a tornado in the sky full of sharks right now, and that's the last panel you see. Although it's a very beautiful panel, it's a lovely panel, but you can see the nose, the ears, and the mouth, so you can tell that the person who was in control of this yokai slash ghost is clearly Saint Germain trying to follow through on his part, unless again he distributed the power and gave it to someone else. To which I'm like, okay, I hope it's him himself, so they can see how they're going to progress, and we can see the gap between the two, and that's something that I think is like, he's almost a superstition of itself because he's able to make people forget that they even know him or that they've seen him or the name that they use or it's even his location. And so that's how do you find someone whose whole thing is to not be found? If you say, oh, I saw this guy, wait, I don't remember what his name is. Boom, your lead, cut, right then and there. If you did it again to someone else, they say that, oh, I saw someone do this and the third, and then all of a sudden their memory is like, I don't remember. Then we have an issue. How do you find a villain who can't be found? And it kind of reminds me of JoJo's with who was it? although clearly memories were not involved. But Yoshikage Kira, it reminds me when they were trying to find him, and they were having like basically no luck, and eventually they got to him. And I wonder, excuse me, and I wonder, how are we going to find him? How are we going to find him, and what's his whole thing? Because his thing that he stated was that he wants to collect everything, right? So, with that being said, he's like a collector. He's the collector, the equivalent of Marvel's the collector. So he just collects things. Ghosts, yokai, aliens, you name it. But is there a goal besides that where he's like, I'm collecting for this said purpose? If I am all powerful, I can do these things. And I don't remember if we have that. But what I do know is that right now, Dandadan is very extremely enjoyable and yet equally as confusing for me right now. For me. I'm confused. And I'm man enough to admit that, you know? I'm not going to sit here and say I know exactly what's going down every single time. I don't. It's a fact of the matter. But I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. And I'm still seeing like the bits and pieces of I see where we're going to be going. And Okuro needs eventually to get his powers back. Momo needs to get back to normal size. Saint Germain needs to have the whole reveal. So there's so many layers to the story. We're adding more people to the main troupe. And so it gives me Chainsaw Man vibes, but a lot more chaotic. And a lot more mysterious at the same time. Because I think Chainsaw Man, there's something about when it's unknown in Chainsaw Man and the mysteriousness of it, we anticipate it, but it's not as in your face. Like, even the reveal recently that we got for Chainsaw Man is not the same as what we see in Dandadan. The seeds are being planted in real time. In real time. And I'm not saying that Chainsaw Man isn't, but in the way that Dandadan's doing it, like, you can tell that there's someone that we knew is the person that we're looking for is actively playing a role, and we know that from reading the story. And so Dandadan has now, it's just, the ball is rolling. The ball is rolling, and it's just like a roller coaster that just doesn't stop. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And eventually we'll see it do this. Eventually we'll see it do that. And that's why, for me, it's so important to navigate what that looks like. In my opinion, to navigate what that looks like is very important. In terms of what Dandadan is doing, it's very important that we get to those points, because at some point that roller coaster is going to get boring, and there's only going to be so many twists and turns that you can do if that's all we've had on the ride. And so I'm not saying that it'll get boring or slow, but what I'm saying is that the point of the roller coaster, the point, the goal, the events, the climax of things, the falling actions of things, the resolution of things, these are all important pieces to the story, and I just wonder, where are we going from here, because I'm confused. I know the goal is to take Momo's powers, but vice versa, what are they trying to do as well? They're trying to find Saint Germain, which is, again, that is a goal nonetheless. But when you created a world that surrounds the main characters, there's so much more further out beyond the galaxy, literally, going on, that the goals that we have now on the table are, in essence, they're immediate because it's happening immediately, but there's more pressing matters. And I'm not saying that to discredit one or the other. I'm just saying that that's just what it is for me, from my perspective. And so I think that, although I'm enjoying Dandadan as per usual, it's in top 10 reads weekly for me, it's just that I think I want to make sure that when I'm reading it, I understand where we're going. And that's all. That's the way I feel about the weekly chapters. That's the way I feel about it. I love what I'm seeing. I just wish I knew where we were going. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm just going to complain about that. I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. And considering the new volume came out, that's why I had it up anyway. Y'all know I always put my volumes in my videos. I already read the volume. I already read it. I'm already ready. Ready for the next one to come out. But we just have to keep reading Dandadan and see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens. But with that being said, y'all stay easy. We got weekly chapters coming out Sunday, so look forward to the videos consistently. I know I say this every time, but I mean it this time. If you don't believe me, just watch. If you don't believe me, just watch. But it's your boy signing off. Y'all go touch grass. Peace.